All right. Good evening, guys. Once again, you're welcome to our live session this evening. It promises to be an exciting one. So, you guys are welcome. I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. And yes, let's delve straight into what we have for the week. Now, we have some things in our agenda which we'd like to discuss. But first things first, I'd like us to kind of have a review of quarter one so far. So quarter one is ending as of today. Today is the 31st of March, 2025. So let's have like a review of what has gone on in the market so far, my returns, and just about that. So I'll quickly share my screen now, and let's see where we go from there. But while I try to prepare my screens now, I'd like to hear from you guys. How has your first quarter treated you? How has it been? So I'd like to hear from you guys.
Yes, Cassie, good evening. For the first quarter of this year, I would say it's been it's been normal to me. My account has not been like blown or taken over. I'm still around some small profit on it, so I think it's okay. And also, ever since I joined, I have not been rushing to take any other trade, just focus on the trade I had already. So I think so far so good. I'm hoping for the best. So it's cool.
Hmm. Yes, very interesting. Very interesting. So, in terms of performance-wise, when we speak of performance, what would you say you've returned in your first quarter?
Like the performance per se, as I was saying the last time, it's like I have seen myself like understanding the market well based on what you have taught us.
Hmm.
So I think yeah, I'm okay because the reason is I just want to follow your path and like really. I think I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah, but, like looking at the bigger picture, I think I have understood some the trade I personally took. You know, I know the reason why I took it. So and also it's also flexing in profit. So I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, interesting. So you are saying that performance-wise, you're doing quite okay, and also in terms of the knowledge and experience, you've grown massively, right?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. That's Thank you. So yeah,
Yeah.
any other person? Just I'd like to know your experiences of how your first quarter has treated you so far.
Okay, hello.
Yes, Abdul, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, personally, what I can say is that, my Q1, let me say at the beginning of my Q1, everything about my trading was so, like, it has been so chaotic, like, I was so confused, like, I was due to something, but thankfully, because of the insightful, like, I'm gaining from the session, I can probably say, like, okay, I'm having some clarity about my trading right now, and I'm seeing some improvements. So it's not like beginning of Q1, like everything was so chaotic for me, like that's, but thankfully, like because of the session, I'm seeing improvements and, and still, we still keep on with it. And I can say I'm rather profitable right now too.
Interesting. Interesting. So now, how about performance-wise, like in terms of your actual performance? Uh, what would you say? Are you ahead? Are you in a slight drawdown? Are you at break even? Like, where are you at in terms of your performance for quarter one?
Yeah, I can either say I'm at break even or like, let me just say like maybe can I use the word average for now, so still at the point of improvement.
Okay. All right. Now,
But
when I
but
asked,
but it's way better than before. I can say that it's way better than before.
Okay, okay. Now, yes, I get it. Um, Now, when I ask about performance, so for example, when I'm asking about performance, I'm saying like the actual returns you've gotten. So, for example, personally, I'm up just above 7% for quarter one. That's like my performance, all right? Um, I've experienced a 2% drawdown this year. That's about it, and I'm up 7%, which is cool. I have running trades that are up about just above 10% as of this moment. And yeah, so that's performance. So when I'm asking as to your experience, your knowledge and experience, as well as your
Oh,
actual performance for the year
yeah,
so far.
okay. I think I understand what you're saying. Actually, I suffered some drawdown, but my wins are actually a lot a lot more than the drawdown. So I can say I'm up right now, like maybe up some percentage. I just don't know how to clarify with the let me say with the percentage or so, but I can say I'm up right now.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. That's cool. That's cool. Any more? Yeah, any more experiences? How has Q1 been for you so far?
Hello.
Yes, Johnny. I'm here.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I can.
Um, how has Q1 been?
Yeah.
Um, well, it's been well since the first calls. I definitely view everything differently now. You know, in terms of trying to like stick with with your system. Like that's something over the past years I've been struggling with. Is just like stay disciplined with your system, and that's really
Yeah,
that's the key to being profitable.
exactly.
But a Q1, I want to say, I mean, I'm down a little bit right now,
Okay.
not too much though, but
Okay.
yeah,
So
but that's yeah, but that's my own fault, you know. It's not because of the strategy or you know, it's more so my own doing.
okay, I understand. I get it. And I think Q2 is expected to be much better, right? So,
Yeah,
yeah, let's
it
see how.
definitely. I'm definitely looking
Let's
forward to that.
all right. Let's see how that works out. All right, more experiences, guys. You guys, tell me how your training has been so far. I'd like to hear it. That's what I want to hear. Any more? Promise colors. Damien, Samira, Claire, Star. I think Captain. Yeah, most of us who have been quite regular in our sessions.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Okay, mine has been like a roller coaster, I would say, because learning through your strategy has really helped me actually. At least what I've learned, especially I'm trying to do my patience. I like to rush into trades. Most times I rush into trades. I don't have patience. So your strategy helps me to be patient with trades. Just wait for the setup and just don't rush your trades. Okay, I think that it has helped me. Another thing again is my emotions. Actually, there was a trade. I think pound AUD or pound NZD called one time. I was in that trade,
Yeah.
and the trade was not heading back to my take. I think to my entry. So out of fear, I exited the trade actually. I don't know why I did. I just exited trade. So and that trade went well. I think it was it really hit the take profit actually. So I think I was beating myself up like why did I exit the trade and all that. So what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to like work on my emotions and trying to like remove fear and anxiety when I'm trading. So I think I've improved in that, as in with some trades. I think I've improved in that already. So I think your strategy has helped me. I think most times I rush into trades. I force myself into trades that I'm not supposed to enter actually. So I think you really helped me a lot actually. And with your strategy, I passed my first challenge ever in Maven actually. I think the Aussie dollar and the silver that you called. I think I got funded because yeah. So
Very interesting.
and yeah. So I got
Oh, that's
funded and yeah, those the two trades, the Aussie dollar and the silver that you called. Only those two trades. So. Then another one you called, I think that was trying to remember the peer. It's an indices actually. Uh, Frank 40 or so,
yeah,
something like that. Yeah. So
yeah.
that trade. So the other account, I bought an account. I entered a trade. So I think that it took a long while. I was waiting and waiting and all that. So I didn't have that patience then. So and I rushed into like I think was it Ethereum. I went to enter a trade. I wasn't supposed to enter the trade. I entered the trade and I lost that account. And later you
Yeah,
got you yeah it you I think that was a win trade actually, that
yeah, it was.
Frankfurt.
Yeah,
So
it
I was
was.
beating myself up again that why did I, so that was still yeah. So I'm trying to like work on my patience. I should stop entering trades I'm not supposed to enter. Just relax. That's what I'm trying to do. So honestly, thank you very much. I think you really helped me to not rush into trades. Really appreciate that.
That's quite interesting. I mean, I never knew that some of these tricks were used to pass some of your account, which is cool. And like you said, you're working on patience. Now, this is something your journal will help you do as well, right? That's why I also encourage tracking your trades, because when you take trades and you close them out prematurely and things like that, these things get into your journal. So when you review them, you can just easily see where you're making mistakes. So yeah, if you're journaling your trades, fine. If you're not, then of course you have to start that, because quarter two is going to be very important to us. Um, we're going to make the assessment much longer. So, for example, there's not much to assess here. We're just going through how the quarter has been. But when we're having a review of quarter two, each of us will have an assessment, because like an assessment in the sense that we'll look through our trades together for each person. So we might have um, more sessions during that time, just so that we can accommodate like everyone. You get. So during that time, if you're not taking your tracking seriously, if you're not joining your trades seriously, it will show. It reflects in your performance. So I think it forces us to work harder and to be disciplined with our trades, right? So yes, but yeah, fantastic to hear that you're making fine progress. So interesting. Damien, how about you?
Uh, yes, so I would say mine hasn't been smooth, like up and down. This is smooth. And then I also think I also have to work on my patience as well, because mine is like the fact that I have to wait for under 2 or 3 days to get another fight is set up. I don't have that patience to wait to get you know a quite set up. And so I take like it's a miss setup. I make money with the quality set up, and I take another miss setup, and then I lose that money, and then I take another one and make the money back. So I'm trying to around breaking even from within another two. I bought the 50K account with a profit, and I'm trying to still sit and break even as at now. So that has been my trading journey this year, first quarter.
So you're currently at break even on the account.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's see how quarter two goes. I think it'll be interesting. I like to think so. But yeah, so far so good. Carlos, I'd like to hear your thoughts.
Okay. Actually, the first quarter of the year is actually, I don't know how to put it, but I think I'm actually having a dual view on the first quarter of the year. Because actually, I got an account, a prop account, and along the line, not that I think I actually had issues with managing loss. Managing risk rather. So that was actually the problem I really faced. In it, I actually lost the account last week, and losing the account, I was like looking at the trades that were actually happening there. And like currently today, I actually have like four positions on that trade on that account, which I was looking at getting to pass the account with those four positions. So and cost of risk management, I think there we everyone know that we deal with drawdown like the daily drawdown. So and that was it. I wasn't able to like monitor the trade. Most time, one of my trading rule is like I get to sit and I forget so that I don't get to so that I can use it to deal with the emotion in a way. Yeah, because coming to look at the chart or coming to look at my portfolio, maybe seeing a trade that's like 2% up, then coming down to like 1% or maybe into drawdown. So those emotions. So I try to hide that emotion by making that rule of sitting and forgetting about the trade. So that was the reason why the whole four trades I was able to accumulate the four costs. Like I was looking at 1:3, 1:5, then sorry, 2:3, 1:5. Then the last one was 1:2. So the first two I actually opened were like 2% up. So it gave me a reason to like get to accumulate more trades on the account, which I saw my setup as usual, and I took those trades because two are already up 2%, while the other one about 1.5. So getting to sit and forgetting the trade, coming back to see how it has been going so far. I got to see that like whole position closed, and I was actually curious. I was like, why? Because I have to go through my trading view, and I saw that these trades, like from the place I marked them out, none of them have actually hit this thing stop. But I can see that they are all closed. The reason being that we can remember that last week Canadian dollar, as the week was about to elapse, really gained strength. So I was shorting some card pairs like card JPY, card CHF, and I think I actually had positions on I think Euro CHF and AUD CHF here. So and for the fact that Canadian dollar actually gained strength, so those are actually the thing that put me those drawdown, and coming to see that the whole position were actually closed, and the account actually lost the account. But like currently I've gotten to look at the trade, and I can see that I think three of them out of the four I'm able to hit profit, and why one is like very close to profit. So like that's the reason why I've not been able to talk like why every other person was support. I just have to say something. Yeah, I was just forced to talk because like I'm really dealing with it. Like personally, it's not something that I was expecting. So at least I know that I'm able to learn from that. Yeah, at least I can just be
Sorry,
accumulating like actions.
sorry. So you had four positions, right?
Yeah, four positions.
So why were these trades closed? Like
That's what I'm saying. You know,
what
daily
confirmed?
drawdown. Daily,
Oh, okay. So you breached the
yeah,
drawdown.
that's what I'm talking about. That daily drawdown actually breached the account. Why looking
So
at my trading view, those trades are actually playing out. So that's the thing that I'm just dealing with right now because getting
so
to see trade playing out.
what it means is you were risking more than 1% on each idea.
The idea I was using was 1.5. I was going on 1.5
Okay, okay,
for this
1.5
trade.
this idea. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
hold on.
yeah.
What's your daily drawdown? What's your daily drawdown?
it's actually 4%. That's about
Oh,
$400 because I just have to start to see how it goes because this is actually my first prop. I actually started my trading journey I think late last year around September November I think when the live session just started. So this year I just said okay, I don't have so much experience, but I just need to see how the live market is, and I just have to get a 10K prop. So that was it.
okay.
And with that, I actually breached the daily drawdown rule. So actually like getting to
Okay.
settle, like calm myself down. Then I look at picking up another prop. But this time I'm planning on getting two. So that because another problem that made me to take this trade is I wouldn't want to be in a situation whereby I have two trades running and like two other trades have set up, and then for the fact of managing loss, I didn't take those two other set up. Then at the end of the day, the ones that are actually running actually get stopped out. Then the new two actually play out. So it will actually be another problem for me. So that's why I've just looked at it and I'm like, okay, maybe this time around I should get two so that if I should see my setup, I will now know how to manage my risk and all that. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, hold on a little bit, hold on. So first off, if your daily drawdown is 4%, it means that your trades went deep into drawdown, like all four trades went deep into drawdown, and that's why you were breached. Okay. Now
Yeah, of course.
instead of trying to just get a new account, like you might get a new account, but I don't want you to just jump in and start rushing to take the trades, like take trades just yet, right? Um, I think you started tracking your trades much earlier than some other persons here in the community. So um, I think we'll need to have like a review of your trade so far. Maybe not now, maybe in subsequent sessions. We'll do that and see how far your system is performing. I've said this before that it's not really about passing a challenge, right? It's cool, but it's not really about passing it. It's about keeping the funded account and getting consistent payouts out of the account, right? So we treat accounts as
Yeah.
portfolios. We don't try to gamify problems. So when we get an account, it's not just really I'm trying to pass an account. Yeah, that's cool, but it doesn't make any sense to pass it, get one payout, and then lose the account all over again. That would be gamifying the problem. So um, all right, so I think we'll look at this prop thing a little bit deeper in our subsequent sessions. Then I think we'll use your journal as an example, right? Just look at your performance so far. Okay. Now, aside the problems, what would you say your performance is like this year? Are you up for the year? Are you down? Just your performance, aside problems.
Yeah, aside the program, I'm actually up. I'm actually up this year. Like from January up to this point, I'm up about hold on, let me look at it. I'm up 6.6, almost 6.5%. 6.5%.
Now, is that not interesting that you are up for the year but you're losing a proper account? I think about that, right? It goes to say something about your risk management. But like again, this is something that we'll look at in our subsequent sessions because ordinary people you should not be up for the year and be having a losing proper account. That that should really not happen, right? So it just goes to show, like you said, you're risking more on your challenges. That's pretty much why you're breached. So, okay, we'll look at this proper. And then another thing I'd like you guys to understand is, when you're trading an account, the pressure is more, right? So that's actually where you want to track your performance. Like, what I'm saying is, you want to actually tailor whatever tracking you're doing to an actual account. Okay, so I'll give you guys an example in the next few weeks. I'll show you guys an account I'm tracking. I told you guys before that at the start of January, I created a $1 million account. I'm trying to test the system so far on this account and try to track the performance. And so far on that account, um, I've taken two losses, right? But as we speak, I am up just above 9%. So I'm up about 95K on the account. So if I close the trades now, I'll be up 7 point something percent on just these running trades. Now think about this. I created the account in January. So the previous trades from last year don't count here, right? So that's why the performance here is slightly different. So all trades right now are in profit. All 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, all 9 trades are in profit, which is cool. So just above 9% on this account. Now, what am I trying to say? You're supposed to link your performance to an account, right? Take the trades, actually hold them. So that is how you test the performance. That's how you know if you're performing. We're not just trying to like put numbers out there that I'm up this amount, I'm up that amount. Not like that. We have to make sure that the performance is tight on account so that we can also see that performance on an actual account. So that's just something else to point out. So yeah, thank you so much. I think you're having a tougher year so far, maybe because of the proper count. But yeah, I think so far so good. Now, in terms of experience, I'd like to say you've also gained experience because you asked questions. So yes, you gained so much experience. Now it's just your risk management that you might need to have a proper work on. But yeah, either ways, yeah, that's fine. Any other person who would like to say something or two about his or her performance before we move on? I think promise. I think we're about to see something a
Yes,
while ago.
yes. Hello.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just trying to talk about the journaling. It really helped me this Q1 because I'm just starting out and trying to understand and pick my system, and I was able to find out some flaws that I had through this journaling, and it's really helped, and I'm working on it.
Interesting. That's what I want to hear, right? That's good to see. Now, I would like to continue, right? Because I want to get like so much data on your journal, so that we can have a review journal if that makes sense. Good. So, but yeah, so far so good. All right, so far so good. I'm happy that you guys are making progress. You guys are getting experience. The sessions are hitting, right? It's just clear that the sessions are hitting. So yeah, so far so good. I'm very impressed. I'm in fact very happy. So yeah, let's look at mine. Let's see. So this year I've taken 4 trades. Pound card, pound NZD, EU, and USCHF. So I've only added 4 new trades this year. Let's have it properly. So pound card is running. So far so good. What else? All right, pound NZD as well is running. And yeah, so far so good. I think I was up 1% just a while ago. Yeah, I was up 1% just a while ago. So pound NZD is also running. EU stopped out, as you can see, and USCHF is slightly in profit, right? So this was the only trade in drawdown, like I said, but right now is in profit. So all trades are currently in profit. But yeah, 4 new trades this year. Now, out of these 4 new trades, 3 trades are running. 1 trade has stopped out. The only other trade that stopped out this year was CAT GPY from last year, 2024. So that's why I said I've taken 2 losses this year. Now, interestingly, the 2 wins I've had this year were from trades I took last year. So your NZD was from October, and I think France 40 as well. So yeah, this guy. France 40 was from November as well. So very interesting, right? I did 2 trades that put me at 7% this year away from last year. So far I've not really closed. Okay, I've only closed 1 trade this year, which is EU, which was a trade that suffered the loss. And aside that, every other trade this year is still running. So the year is still fresh. Not many opportunities so far, as opposed to last year. Like, because one of last year I took more trades. Now this difference is 1 because of the adjustment I made, and 2, we've not just really had too many opportunities. I mean, as at this time last year, the JPYs were giving me like all JPYs were giving me entries. So far, not really. And of course, I don't expect that to happen every year. Right? I don't expect that. But yeah, so far, this is what I have. Like I said before, I'm transferring all the running trades, of course, to quarter 2, and yeah, we'll see what we get. Right? We'll see what we get to quarter 2. So far, so good. As for the market, there's not much. So what I want to do today is, let's see if I can go through if I can go through the fundamentals. Let's see. So hold up. Filter. Hold up. So all right. So what I'll do now is I'll share my screen and let's look at forex factor for a bit. I'm going to include this for every analysis we do on Mondays. So I want to slowly bring you guys into the fundamentals. Slowly, right? We're not rushing it. Just let's take our time with the fundamentals. Now, by doing this, what we'll start with first is just, I think every Monday we just look at what we have for the week, right? We're not going to delve too much into the numbers so that you guys don't get too confused, but this will just help you get prepared for the week, what you expect this week. So that during the week, when I send out updates on unemployment rate or this is this and that is that, you then know that, okay, we expected this to happen this week, if that makes sense. So, yeah, this week, red folder news, right? This folder explains news events that have so much impact, that could have or that can have so much impact on the market. And on Monday, being March 31st, we had these two. Now you see here, this is all day for the euro, and this is the Chinese yuan. So not much has happened. So this is CPI for Germany. This is manufacturing PMI for Chinese yuan. Now, like I said too much, I don't want to delve into what they mean and the numbers. Not yet. Okay. Now, of course, we have interest rate decisions coming out for the Australian dollar tomorrow, which is just a few hours. This will be like 3:30 a.m. if you're using, what time zone is this? I'm not sure. It says 6:54 p.m. here. What time zone would this be? Interesting. So, let's see. Can we adjust this? Will this affect us? Let's see. Okay. Let's see. All right. So, okay, cool. Now we have 4:30, right? So 4:30 a.m. we have interest rates coming out for Australia. So, previous interest rate is 4.1%. Forecast, which is what analysts expect. Analysts expect that the Reserve Bank of Australia would keep interest rates the same, right? Why do I say the same? Is because 4.1 here is the same as previous. So they expect the numbers to be the same, not to change. Now, the question is, what will happen when that number comes out? Will it be the same? Will it go higher? Will it go lower? Now, if they reduce interest rates, and this is these decisions that now affect the currency. So we'll see what happens. Later on that tomorrow, we're going to have job openings for the US and manufacturing PMI. So these are the numbers. Like I said, let's not delve too much into that. Now it's a week of NFP because we're breaking into February, right? So the first Friday of February is of course NFP day, NFP week. So we would always have ADP before NFP, right? So ADP is like for the private sector, while NFP is for like the public sector. So for every week you have NFP, you have ADP on Wednesdays. It's just how it is, right? But yeah, most persons don't pay attention to these events, but it is also very important. So ADP comes out on Wednesday, CPI on Thursday. We have unemployment claims on Thursday. We have services PMI on Thursday as well. And then on Friday, we have unemployment rate, employment change, unemployment rate for Canada, and as well NFP for the US. And of course, the Fed chairman, Mr. Jerome Powell, would speak. So that's pretty much what we have for the week. Not much, but yeah, I think we should expect some sort of volatility to come in this week. Now, if we come on to trading economics, let's see. So trading economics is still like pretty much the same thing, right? So yeah, this was the data I pointed out to today. Now, retail sales in Japan, it missed badly. Like this was so bad. For example, the previous retail sales came in at 4.4%, year over year, right? But now it missed. Like, look at this. Now, this is what they were expecting, 2.2%. That was the forecast. Now it missed. It came at 1.4%. So it missed not only from the previous data, but it missed from what was expected. Now it's still tough in Japan, like I said, right? It's still very tough in Japan. Industrial production also came in very much lower. Now it's tough, but you see that Japanese yen has gained strength. That's why I said before that sometimes we have to look at context, because you could see this, that how can Japan have a miss in retail sales and yet the currency gains strength. That's why I said you don't tie every data to what the currency is doing at the time. Sometimes it doesn't work like that. If you're not careful, if you're not careful with the fundamentals, you might get really confused. Okay. Now, during the weekend, the trade was escalated, right? So Trump is, I think the trade was, and like because it's so uncertain, the Japanese yen is still a safe haven currency, right? So the sentiment right now and the data don't align, not yet. That's why I'm still long-term bearish on the JPY, on the Japanese yen. Not for long, but I expect the Japanese yen to still weaken, at least against these other currencies. But for now, it's not happening, right? It's not really happening. It's too slow. The reason is because of the trade wars. That plays a part. Also because of the central bank's decision, right? The Bank of Japan is still trying to, raise interest rates. So the thing is, if the Bank of Japan raises interest rate, it could affect the currency, right? So it is not always the fact that a bank raises interest rate does not always mean that the currency would gain more strength. It might gain strength in the short term, but that can affect the currency in the long term, because it's all about the decisions, these policy decisions, and how they affect the economy. So, from what I'm seeing, a hike in interest rates may not be the best for the currency in the long term. But that's by the way. The point here is we saw a miss in retail sales, yet the Japanese yen gained strength. That's because of the sentiment at the moment. Because of the trade wars still on the high side, the Japanese yen is still a safe haven currency. And that's why it is still very strong at the moment, right? The difference is when the sentiment starts to shift, okay? So when attention, I think we also have some of the tariffs coming into play. I think that should be on April 2nd. Some of the tariffs that Trump has should come into play from like 2nd of April moving forward. So when attention shifts away from the tariffs, when these, I think the market is pricing in the effect of the tariffs, right? So I think when attention shifts away from the tariffs, the Japanese yen might weaken yet again, because then it's like the market comes and focuses on the data at hand that Japan is going through. So that's just pretty much it. Now there's so much to look at when we look at trading economics. That's why I'm saying I don't want to delve too much so that you guys don't get too confused. But yeah, that's about it. This is what we have for the week. Now, if we come to the technicals, not much has changed. I think our last session was on Thursday, so not much has changed, to be honest. The only difference is the Japanese yen gained quite some strength on Friday and also today. But yeah, that's about it. I think every other currency is still the same. AD card dumped a bit. NZD card. NZD card is trying to break below this level. If it breaks, of course, like we said, we expect a retest and for price to continue to the downside. The pound card is now continuing its original trend. It might still move sideways for a while, but of course, I expect this guy to push higher. Pound NZD is now taking a lift, which is cool. We bought this guy towards the end of March, and so far we're making progress. So you see that the New Zealand dollar is, of course, much weaker than the British pound, and that's why this is easily moving. Now, it doesn't mean that this show will definitely play out, because we might see either a shift in sentiment or short-term strength in the New Zealand dollar, and of course that could mean a pullback. But either way, this is how we're looking, and so far so good. AUD is now turning around to the downside. We see the level where we took off, right? We rejected this level. Now look at what happened here. He rejected in February, he dumped and came back in March. But of course it's a level, and that's why I said as long as these levels stay strong, as long as price does not violate these levels, there is no reason to close your trade. Every decision you take outside of that will just be your emotions playing pranks on you. You want to allow the chart, allow the data to speak to you. You know, don't force your own initiatives. That would be very bad, and that could really affect your performance. So maybe you were selling AUD before now, and maybe because of this pullback, you got scared and you thought in your head the market was going to break out, but it did not. It doesn't mean it can't break out, but just allow it to happen. Just allow the market to do what it wants to do. Don't try to um, ask the market to do what you want. It would never respect your decisions. Um, EU, pound, USD, not much is going on. And the US is also dropping because, of course, the New Zealand dollar is very weak. Now, interestingly, if you guys would go back to some of our previous analysis, this is the level I was looking to sell NU from, right? Remember, I changed the key levels for a minute. This is the level I was looking to sell NU from. It's not like there's not a key level, it is, but because if I have this level down here, I would not want to just catch this short move. But you can see it's respected. This is 0.58. If you refer back to our previous analysis from time past, you'd see me refer to this level multiple times. Now, even though I didn't sell off the key level, right, because of this level here that we're trying to reach, it is the market is respecting it. It just goes to show the importance of these levels. They're just so important. You just cannot remove them in your trading. All right, guys. Sorry, I had a little issue. So what I would do now is, can someone come up and share maybe his or her screen while I try to fix this? So anyone here who has joined with his or her PC can just quickly come up. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
All right. So can someone just come up? I don't know who has tuned in with his or her laptop or PC. You can just share a screen now. At least let's just see what you have for the week, and while I try to fix this.
Good evening. Hello.
Yes. Good evening, Koyi.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember me, but I asked a question in the previous session, and you were like, "We're going to look into it in the next one about my strategy," because I'm new in this meeting, so I'm not even familiar with the system that you've been referencing to. So I
Okay.
need
Yes, I
a
do. I remember. Okay. So I think I asked you to join with a PC today, right?
yeah, you did.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's fantastic. So yeah, let's do that. So if you did join, then please share your screen. Then
All right, then.
I think
One
to the
second.
top left, you'd find an option to share your screen. Let's do that.
Okay. Hold on. One second. Okay. Can you see it?
Yes, I can see your screen. Yes.
Okay. Hold on, please. Okay. So basically, you said I should walk you through my system, like how I trade, my trading
Yeah.
approach, so you
Yeah.
can give a better insight. What I do is, from the limited knowledge I have, I use the top-down analysis. I don't like
Okay.
that's what I don't know. That's what I know it as. So I come to the monthly time frame to see the bigger picture, to mark up key levels where I see price like respecting levels and I mark it up. And I do that all the way down to the lower time frame. So when I get to the 1 hour, because I try to look for entries in the 1 hour time frame. And why I'm doing that is because initially I tried the 4 hour approach and I noticed that the trades were taking a very long time to execute. And it's not like I was eager or anything, but I was just looking at it from a perspective of okay, if I want to even like evaluate myself, I need to wait for months before I can even before I can evaluate whether or not the trade like went the way it was supposed to go. Like I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. Yes.
So and then from some information that I've come across, I've seen that people actually use the 1 hour to do the break and retest strategy using candlestick formation as confirmations. So I decided to do that like in the 1 hour, but it's been very, very inconsistent. Like, okay, for this example now, sometimes it works, but sometimes like price just now it's played out. This is the 1 hour time frame, and then this key level here, I think it's a daily key level. This I'm checking out GBP USD right now.
Yeah.
So in the daily key level, I mean daily time frame rather, it broke out. Now, ideally, I'm aware that it's still meant to come back to retest if you are following the break and retest psychology. But what I do is when price breaks out of this key level and is making like an impulse move, I try to look for a market structure in the smaller time frame. So when I'm seeing price create key levels, and then I try to like buy when it breaks out of that key level in the smaller time frame. So now it has become evident that it's not really working, and then there's something I need to do, but I just don't know how to go about it. I know I need to like revert back to trading off the higher time frame, but then I still feel like there are still some insights I need to gather so I can go about it properly. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. So your system is cool because first off, you use it like the top analysis. I want you to walk me through it again, but this time start
Okay.
from the morning, come down to weekly. Like, let's say these two trades that you have, like this play out. Can you walk me through your thought process behind the trades? Right. So how did
Okay.
you start?
Okay.
How did you come down to arriving at taking the trades? That's what I want to see.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. So in the monthly time frame, I could see that okay, price had hit this previous resistance. And then I asked myself, whenever price hits this resistance in the past, what does it do? That's psychology I have. And I saw that previously it started like an uptrend rather. So that has created a foundation for my bias, but it's not yet concluded yet. So I go down to the next time frame to see what's happening. And then this was a support level in the past. I want to believe so because of this rejection. Yeah, this rejection. So when I saw that price broke out of this key level, and um my psychology was okay is to start like making higher and higher lows. So I didn't go into the trade at this time. I was waiting for price to like start moving up, like making higher highs and higher lows, like start making a direction towards the upper level. And this is where it started. So I like for it to like break through a series of key levels first. Then I know that okay, yes, then the uptrend is solid. So it broke through this one. Then when it broke through this one, I was just paying attention to see um the direction, like if it's going to maintain that momentum. And then when I came down to the 4 hour time frame, I now saw that it had created like a resistance level here. And then I was like, okay, if price, because I saw that I retraced it, if price can still come back here and break and retest, that means the momentum is still solid. So I waited for a break and retest here in the 1 hour time frame. These key levels that I drew here, I drew it in the 1 hour time frame. So when it got here, I waited for a break and retest, and I used candlestick patterns as confirmations. So the candlestick patterns I use are a golfing bar, pin bar, then multiple rejections. And that multiple rejections requires the second candlestick to be bigger. Like once I see a first candlestick that is small, then the second one is bigger, like a momentum, then I place a trade. So I don't know if that was detailed enough, but maybe I should go through it again.
No, that was detailed enough. So this is cool. Now, again, like I said, your system is interesting.
Okay.
What I'm seeing is you're very unique to the particular situation, all right? And
Okay.
you're very unique to the situation. So it's like your plan is dependent. So I think you're kind of like discretionary, like use your discretion in the sense that your plan is peculiar to what is happening at the moment right now. You get so
Yeah.
market is giving like a different structure. You want to align your trade idea to fit it, right? It's not like you have one thing that you apply across all market conditions. You understand? That's what I'm noticing
Okay.
from the idea. Okay, which is cool.
Okay.
Now, can you give me another example with a different pair so that I would
Okay.
see your thought process again for like a different asset? So not the USDs, not the USDs, not the
Okay.
USDs. Anything else you've traded in the last few months?
I think I traded this pair. Sorry, hold on. Okay. So yeah, I've traded this pair. So the UC is the same analysis. I try to draw out key levels in the big time frame to just to know where price will most likely respect a key zone. So I come down to the lower time frame to look for entries. As like I come down to each time frame step by step um just to make sure that okay, yes, the buyers that I've gotten from the higher time frame is consistent all the way down to the lower time frame. But I still keep an eye out for maybe chart patterns forming at a particular key level, or maybe price gets to a key level that he has previously rejected before in the higher time frames. So in this case, price started the uptrend from this key level. So my plan now is to be looking for market structure, a break and retest. Any opportunity I see a good break and retest setup, I trade. So come down to the daily time frame. Okay. Oh, this was way back. I think this was like last year. Yeah. So yeah, it served me well here. I wait for price to create like a resistance. Then when I see it, this particular trade I took, I think my key level was previously here, but I later adjusted it when I
Yeah.
noticed that price was respecting this key zone. When I took a trade at that key zone, which played out nicely. Then it's just the same analysis. So when price breaks out of this key zone again, I wait for it to create like a market structure. So once I see it respecting a particular key zone, maybe a resistance zone, and it breaks through and it retests, I placed another trade, but I've not placed a trade on this recently. Sorry, I thought I have. So let me look for the one that is very recent. I don't know. Okay, US oil. Okay, the trade went against me though, yeah. So yes, okay. This is the monthly pattern. So price was in an uptrend previously. Then, like I said, I always look at what price did when he hit the particular key zone that is approaching in the past. And in the past, I saw that price hit this key zone and he started coming back down, like he started a downtrend. So I was anticipating a downtrend, but once it gets to this key zone, I don't immediately jump in. I wait to see that okay, yes, there's a momentum that okay, price is actually creating higher lows and is breaking through subsequent support levels. So okay. And this particular trade I took was when I was still trying to test out the 4 hour time frame. And I saw that okay, this is not something that can play out in the long run because it take time. So after because this was like September last year. So I started looking at smaller time frames. Sorry. So but I think US oil is one of the pairs I know that okay. For me, okay. I think I've seen one. So this particular one, I waited for price to retrace here, but I think I was asleep at the time, so I wasn't able to get the entry. And I waited for this one as well. I always want price to reach the key zone and to form a candlestick formation. Let's say in this scenario now, a bearish candlestick formation that is maybe like engulfing bar, a pin bar, an inside bar. For my inside bar, I wait for a breakout out of the inside bar before I confirm. So before I place the trade rather. So after breaking out, this was the first retest, but I missed it. So I was waiting for the second retest. And it never came till this time, but price reversed and stopped me out. So that's like kind of the analysis. I know my explanation is not really coherent, but
No, it is.
Okay.
It is. I understand what you're trying to do. Now, this feels very similar to how I traded in the past because think about you're still using your top-down analysis, you're still trying to follow market structure. There are just certain things you might need to adjust to make the system better. Okay, certain things. Now, this is one of the things I want to discuss in the bootcamp. That's supposed to be this month. So there's certain things you might need to adjust. For example, from your explanation, you're still testing, right? So it's not like this is proven yet. Right? You're still testing and checking what that is. But we're going to fast track this process, right? So I don't have to test too much. What I mean is we're going to make sure the base of the system is solid, right? The foundation is solid. For example, the white line, okay, no, is that it? Move your mouse a bit. So the white horizontal line you have down there is, I think that's like a weekly support, right? So price is bouncing off
this white line,
price is bouncing off support, and I think you were trying to sell into that support when price is already bouncing off it. So what you want to get more like with your TA, what you want to understand is how to connect these time frames so that you know when to buy and when to sell. All right. So when prices reject the key level, you want to stay off, right, and things like that. So this is cool. It's just need a little bit of refining. Okay, a little bit of refining. Also, do you track your trades? Do you journal your trades?
Yeah, I journal my trades. I have journal. I don't.
Cool. That makes sense. So this is cool, but you just need a little bit of refining. because you're trying to approach it from like the higher time frames, but you just need to know like the principles you'd use so that you don't run into mistakes. Because think about this, right? There's not so much consistency with this you're doing, right? So sometimes it's working, other times it's not. So it's lacking a bit of consistency. That's the difference. So when you make some of these adjustments that I've seen, I think I know some of the adjustments you might need to make. It would come from your analysis. Like it will come from the way you analyze the trades and the market. Okay. So that's why it's not like a one-time thing you have to do. It's like we have to go through it together. Okay. So I plan to have this as a section in the bootcamp. So we will discuss technical analysis. Then that's where I want to introduce my key levels, how I approach TA, so that you can use the principles. Or what I want to teach in the bootcamp is I want to give us like principles we use while we do technical analysis, right? These are like universal principles. So this way you're not breaking any of the core laws or principles of trading, and then you can build a technical system around that. Okay. So for example, some of these little differences that I've seen here, you can just make adjustments and then you just see so much improvement in the way you analyze the market.
Okay. I feel on that.
So yeah, I'm not sure when the date is this month, of course. Next month, April, and one of the weeks in April. So I'll let you guys know. I'll communicate the dates to you, how you run, and all of that stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. But yeah, this is cool. I think this is cool. I think your trades are quite similar to Carlos. You guys have some sort of similarities in the way you look at the chart. Although Carlos uses key levels, the same key levels, but you guys approach it differently. But you guys are trying to like use structures and follow the trend. So yeah, I can see some similarities. I think same thing with Abdul. I can see some similarities with the way you guys approach the chart, which is and George as well. So you guys have like very similar systems. So, but then that bootcamp is like one for all, right? So it would give us the principles, and then we'll take those principles and then apply it to the market, and we'll see so much improvement once we're done. All right.
Okay.
But yeah, this is interesting. I think now I have an idea of how you trade. Like I have a better idea, so that when I'm having a conversation with you, I know where you're coming from. All right. And this is why I say that we should share our screens, because this way I can, no matter how you explain to me, I can't understand it properly until I see myself, right? So that's why I've encouraged us traders to share our screens. By sharing your screen, I know how you trade better, and it'll be easier to make improvements from there. So this is cool to see. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Of course. So all right. So let's see. The bootcamp should come within the first 3 weeks of April. Okay. And I think we might split into like 2 days. We're still like working on the details. So of course I'll let you guys know how that plays out. All right. Yeah, I think that's about it. Anything else? Hold up. So that's what I have. Let me see. I'll just now. Personally, if I share my screen again, this is all I have for currencies. Now for first, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. And secondly, do you guys still notice the black things that I think Abdul and Carlos, you guys mentioned it the last time? Does that still happen on the screen?
No, actually, right from the beginning of the picture, it doesn't appear there.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I said it doesn't appear to be like we haven't seen this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Much better. Much better. So for indices, they're still falling pretty much. Still falling. The S&P still falling. The German DAX topped out from the double top here, and so the question is, will this higher low hold price, or are we going to drop? If it holds price, of course we'll head higher. If it doesn't, then it looks like we're going to drop. We have Euro stocks still dropping terrible at the moment. So I'm not expecting any of these indices to hold. We have um, SMI. Most of them are just still dumping. That's about what these guys are doing right now. And gold, this guy, this guy is just this guy. Now I look back and I'm like, if only I was able to get an entry here or here, right? This would have been so wonderful because I'm trying to think of a way. Although it will still be short lived because I'd have used any of these levels to take profit, right? So I think I'll still be out around these prices. But yeah, I missed some of these entries here. And this wasn't really the best entry I was looking for. Yeah, that's about it. Gold is on fire, I can't even lie. This guy is doing really well. And of course it's not a surprise, right? Because like we said, uncertainties with trade wars, and that's why we're seeing gold soar to the upside. I said that gold is on charge territory. This is prices that it has never gotten to before now, which is crazy to see. So if you were buying gold and you just been holding, all you have to do is just be patient, right? And you're making so much money. Now it's too high to buy. Okay, it's too high to buy, and it's too dangerous to sell. All right, because you might also sell in the hopes that gold will pull back, right? Gold will pull back, but it's a question of when and at what price. So I think maybe if attention moves away from the uncertainties at the moment, maybe. But right now, I'll not be surprised to see gold just continue making higher highs. I definitely would not be surprised to see such. Yeah, let's see what happens. And then, mind you, gold is it's just one asset, right? It's just one asset amongst other assets. And if you're not seeing an opportunity here, that's fine. You get other opportunities. And I asked a question earlier today, and I don't want to delve too much into that topic right now, but it's something I would like us to discuss as time goes on. The question I asked was, I threw a poll and I asked the question. I said, how would you trade if you didn't have access to leverage? Can you really catch market moves without leverage? And that's a serious question. And that's a question I think we should think about. And I know that might need a little bit of explanation, but here's what I mean. So since January, gold is up. Let's see. Gold is up 19%. All right, hold up. Let's take this guy back to gold is on fire. This guy is doing too good. Wait, that's by the way. So gold is up about 19%. All right, gold is up about 19%. So far so good. And this is like gold's move, right? What it means is if you bought gold on leverage, like not as a CFD trader, say you were investing, like just like those who invest in the S&P, for example, if you were investing in gold traditionally, if you invested $1,000 in January, you'd be up, I think $190, right? So that's about 19% of. Sorry, did I get that correct? Yeah, $190%, $190.
Yeah.
So that's what you have if you bought gold like on leverage, right? So is that good? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But considering how prices move, like I said, this is just one move amongst others. If you, I think gold is leading the pack, quite frankly, because silver has not moved that much. No, it hasn't. Silver has done okay. Okay, about the same thing, right? About 19% as well. So I think gold and silver they are both leading the pack. I think last year gold, the S&P, the Nasdaq, they were all competing, but this year not so much, right? Because if we look at where, that's crazy, right? Let's see. Yeah, we're down. All right, we're down about 8% since the start of January. So gold and silver, I think, in terms of moves are both leading the pack. That's with these asset classes. If we look at cryptos, then I think maybe Bitcoin. Let's see. I think I have cryptos here. I think no, not this guy. Let's see. Where did I have Bitcoin? Let's see. So okay, now I think gold is leading the pack. Like Bitcoin is still down, quite frankly. So gold is leading the pack here, and it's not again like I said, it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise. I don't think any asset has done as much as gold is doing right now. So, but again, that's about it. That's all I have. Just keep your eyes open. We have some data coming out this week, so of course, just get a result of the data. There's not much dissecting yet, but let's just see how that plays out. Quarter one is ending, or is so far ended. We're moving on to quarter two. So far, so good. We're on fire. We're doing well. Our trades are playing out really well. Our analysis are on point. We haven't taken too many losses. Our portfolio is looking good. We're learning to be disciplined and patient. We're making progress, right? And when we have a review in quarter two, I want us to be much better than we are right now. That's the goal. So let's see how that goes. Now, one thing we've stressed very well so far is tracking trades. Okay, so let's take that very seriously in quarter two because we need that when we're about to review. All right. So I don't know if you guys have any questions. If you do, please go ahead. Any questions?
Yeah. I wanted to ask when they talk about tariff. So is it a good thing or like is a bad thing for the market?
It kind of differs, right? Kind of differs. Now, the impact that tariffs can have on the market can be good and can be bad, right? So how do I explain this now? I think what is bad about the tariffs right now is the uncertainty. It's like the market does not really know what is really going to happen with the effect of the tariffs, right? So, and then these tariffs are imposed on countries like Mexico, I think Canada, I think even China, Japan. Some of these countries are supposed to be affected by these tariffs. These tariffs are on like some cars, I think virtually everything, right? Just a whole lot. Right? Trump is very crazy, but that's besides the point. The point is, it is the uncertainties, and then some of these countries are trying to like retaliate and strike back. I think China is trying to like strike back with their tariffs in the US as well. I think on some of the products. So it is the uncertainty with these tariffs that is making it look like kind of bad for the market. So it's like everybody's trying to be careful, right? And try to price in what could happen. So I think the tariff is supposed to take effect on the 2nd of April. Some of these tariff plans are supposed to take effect on the 2nd of April. So I think after that, we'll then know what happens. But in reality, it's supposed to be good. Like if you read about tariff plans and what they're supposed to be for ordinarily, in some cases it's supposed to be good. So you might just want to do your personal research on what happens when tariffs are implanted or imposed on a particular currency on certain products or aspects of a particular country. So just do your research. It differs, right? I think if tariffs are not done properly, it can affect badly. If they are done properly, it can be good. So it's not like one size fits all. All right. So either way, we just have to stay alert and be managing our risk. So whatever happens, we'll be fine. So
Yes, yes. Thank you. Because the reason I was saying that I was looking at DXY and I'm saying, as it's like DXY will be able to gain its strength at 104 area, the area because of the tariff coming on the 2nd of April. The Trump what is doing, will it be able to gain its strength or it will still go down?
now,
104.
yeah, that's where it's currently around this area. Now I'm not sure what's gonna happen with the dollar, but in all honesty, I think with or without the tariffs, the dollar amongst like I would say the G10 currencies. So if we look at let me come back to trading economics now. Where's that? Where did I see that? Okay, cool. So sorry, let me come back here. So if we look at like the G10 currencies, right? The United States is still like the US dollar is still like the most appealing currency at the moment. Still the most appealing amongst others. Not even the euro, not even the Japanese yen. Now look at the interest rates, right? I'm not looking at Brazil or Russia, right, or India. I'm looking at like the most important currencies. The US dollar is still like the highest interest rate, I think, alongside the pound. The Japanese yen has the lowest, as you can see, 0.5%. Like, if you look at just the data, the US dollar is still like the most, would I say the most lucrative or the most appealing? Yes, the most appealing. So the dollar is too strong. And I don't really, I think unless the economy is really bad, and then it's not so bad, I think the US is still like thriving, right? I mean, look at the interest rate. So I don't think that the dollar would see so much weakness, not just from the tariffs. No, not necessarily. I think the tariffs is not really supposed to affect the dollar so much, mainly for the other currencies like Canada, Mexico, um, China. Some of these countries that are affected deeply by the tariff plans. So the dollar would weaken drastically if the data continues to worsen. Maybe I think that's like the only thing that can really drag the dollar down. Aside that, I just feel like it might just consolidate, right? That's how I see it, at least. So, but then it's the data that tells us, right, that gives us an idea of what could happen. So um, the dollar coming down to 100, it's still not that bad because I mean, think about it. The dollar was at 100 in September, but I don't really see the dollar coming below these levels. Not really, right? Think about it as well that the dollar is also a safe haven currency, right? And during type of uncertainties, it's also an asset that people turn to, right? So I don't really see the dollar dragging too low, or at least below 100. I don't really see that happening. So yeah, let's just and then think about this. This looks like an impulse correction to me. So I can only see that's how I see it. So yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
But then I think, yeah, you're welcome. But I think we just have to keep an eye on NFP, right? What's going to happen with the unemployment rate on Friday? NFP data, will it hit, will it miss? Let's see. Maybe that could give us an idea of what we could expect this month. So yeah, the dollar weakness, I like to think personally that it's short lived, and sooner or later we would see some upside. So, any other questions? Yeah, thank you, George.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, I've got.
Yeah, okay. Good evening, please. Yeah, please. I want to ask a question that okay. Let me see two questions. First of all, like, would you consider a breakout test like on the weekly level? It's retested to your key level with just a week, like it didn't close, not properly closed, but with just a week. The week touch it's retested with a key level with just a week or this thing on the weekly time frame, and on the daily time frame, it's properly closed on your key level as a retest, you feel me? So, and secondly, would you consider a daily retest on your key level with just a week? And I don't know if you got my question. And because according to my journal, I noticed that most of the trade that I lost is that like I didn't wait for a proper retest. Some I traded breakout like without a retest, and when the market retested back, like it's like I had a drawdown which it was like it even went through my SL. So that's why, like, I just want to know, like, would you consider a break and retest on the daily time frame just a week, and I know on the weekly time frame just a week, we tested to your key level, and on daily time frame, like, properly closed. So that's my question.
Okay. Now, fine question. Fine question. I think first of all, it needs to be visual for me to completely understand the context. But I'm trying to say an example. Uh, Any examples I can use? Okay, yeah, cool. I think AU. All right, now this is AU, right? This was a break and retest. I don't think this is the content that you're speaking of, right? But this is a break and retest with the week and the weekly time frame, but on the daily, um, it kind of closed, right? So I don't know if this is the context you mean. But personally, I
Okay,
just like to
yeah,
see
that's the context I meant here.
yeah. So I like to see a retest. If I see a retest on the daily, that's fine. I don't have problems. I don't really need it to be at the week and weekly, and I'm just focused on the break and retest. I'm focused on is on the daily time frame, right? So that's what I'm interested in. So if I see that in line with what I'm looking for on the raw time frames and in line with the plan, then of course I'll go ahead and take it. So
So
now mind
how about on the
okay.
daily time frame, just a week, not properly closed for a week, like the week
Now
violated your key level, like it's retested properly, but with just a week. Would you consider going for your entry?
now yeah, in the past, like these are two examples, right? So even though this is not my key level, but like this were retests with just a week, right? Now in the past, if this happened or if this happened, right? Personally, after a week, after a week, in most cases, if price will go in my direction, the next candle will be a bullish candle, right? If it's an uptrend, in most cases. So I might just have to wait for that bullish candle. You get personally because it gives more confirmation. So I like to see a bullish candle on the daily, right? It might not have to be like the longest. I don't even like to see like the longest bullish candle because then it becomes difficult for me to enter. For example, pound NZD. Like look at this guy. Oh, sorry. Uh, no, that's a mistake. Okay. So look at this guy, right? Look how big, right? Look how big the candle was. It was so high that my stop loss has to be like this high. Like, but if this was like close to my level, I'll be making more on the trade. I'll have a smaller stop loss. But either ways, once I see this, I'll take the trade, right? But if it was just a week, then most likely the next candle will be a bullish candle. So personally, I'll just wait for that to happen. To just give you more confidence. But in the past, if I see a week on the daily, on the 4 hour, it's like a proper. Now here's the thing: when you see a week on the higher time frame, when you scale down to like the next time frame, it is a better reaction. You get. So if it's a week on the daily, it's like a proper test on the 4 hours. So you might want to you then might want to put that into perspective and then take the trade. But personally, if I see a week now, I'll just wait for the next day. And if I get even if it's just a bullish candle, it doesn't have to be like the best. I'll take the trade. So I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah, it answers okay. Thank you. Yeah, because what made me to start trading PayPal is that I waited for pound card and euro card, like I had a key level, and when the price broke out through the key level on pound card and euro card, I expected a retest, but the market left me out, and the market has been going bullish since then. So that's why I felt like maybe I should have just traded a breakout then. Yeah,
Uh,
these two.
Now I think this is what you're speaking of. You mean this guy?
Yeah, that's on euro card and pound card.
Okay, so yeah, it differs. In some market conditions, you just have the pump, right, without any pullbacks. It can happen. So, but then I don't think you want to. I don't think you want to trade off of two scenarios, right? That's why you need to have a plan like this, like the universal plan you use, and that's why it needs to be tested. Because once it's tested, you're not going to be asking all of these questions. Like, is the test to answer this question? That's why we're testing to find out, right? So, in cases where the market will break out and not pull back to test to give an entry, then that's okay. Then that will not be wrong because it's not part of your system. You get. So, I think it just depends on how you trade and how your system works. If that makes sense. So now you made a statement. You referred to some of the losses you took as to being that you didn't wait for
Yes, yeah,
for
yes. I didn't wait for the retest because
exactly.
so I on CJ on card JPY. because I didn't wait for a retest, I suffered a loss there. And on what's it called? On USDJPY too. When I wanted to take my second entry, I should have. Well, if
Yeah.
I waited for a retest, I would have suffered a loss. But I suffered a loss. Stay again on that on USDJPY, and on.
Okay. Is it just me or I no longer hear you?
I think his network is bad because I can't hear him as well.
Okay. Abu, are you still?
Hello.
Yeah, I can
I
hear
don't know
you.
if you can hear me. Yeah, I'm
I
sorry, please.
can.
I had a brief network fluctuation here, so.
All right, that's fine.
So no, I was saying that like the losses that I incurred in this maybe this last month or so on CJ, if I waited for a retest, I would have suffered a loss, and on USDJPY and NJ too. Mostly those three trades. If I waited for a retest, I would have suffered a loss. So I think that's what I just noticed about the retest of the issue.
Yeah, you have a point. True, but I like to think that's not the only reason, right? Because you were also against the overall trend. So sometimes when you take losses, you might break some principles of trading in the process, not just the entry criteria, right? Sometimes it might be the trend you're trading, things like that. So a journal will help you point out how many things you might be missing on some of the losses you're taking. Now, in some cases, the losses are just losses, right? It's not every loss means that you were wrong, like I said before. So it just differs on the losses you take. So yes, that entry pattern had something to do with that with your trade, right? But also it was also because of the trend. Because even if they had tested and given an opportunity and you took them, and then trend switches back into an uptrend, you still take the loss, right? So even though the entry pattern played the part, but the trend also played a major role in the outcome of those trades. But yeah, it's good that you're tracking them, which is what, like I said, that's what I love to see. But let's see how things go. Okay.
Casey, please, do you have any entry on, like, are you currently on pound AUD?
Pound AUD, nope. No, not yet. I know someone's buying pound AUD. I can't remember who because in our last session we talked about pound AUD. I know someone is buying pound AUD.
No, I was the one. Actually,
Oh yeah, that's okay. Okay, that's true.
yeah, I
All right,
was,
cool.
I was currently long on a pound AUD. I think that was since let me say for the past 2 weeks now. So right from the key level. So I took my entry there, because and right from then I already set my TP right from the way I took I took my entry, but around that last week or so, because I noticed that this trade like still have a long way to go or so. So I wanted to remove my take profit then also. Like I've already forgotten. It actually eats my take profit today. So I was now thinking whether maybe I can probably take on the trade again or so.
Yeah, I think personally that I'm waiting, right? Personally, I'm waiting because I love the breakout, right? This is what I wanted to see. We're closing above the key level to school, so I mean, good for you for taking profits, right? Now, if this pulls back, you might have an opportunity to buy again, but that's what I'm waiting for. A pullback is what I'm looking for me to buy. So if that happens, then yeah, fine for you. You might just have the opportunity to win twice, right? Which would be nice.
Yeah, okay, because I even considered that okay, maybe probably next month, which is tomorrow, after another new count, if it is a bullish count on the monthly key level, maybe I can probably take my entry then.
Now you have to be very careful about that because uh, I don't want to be drawing like too many new levels right here and looking for like breaks and reaches because if this move is going to continue, I've not drawn like any new key levels, right? But if this move is going to continue, we might have to test this guy first. So even if we test here, these moves might just be short-lived. Probably come down and test. So again, we just have to be careful. Now, if I'm to buy pound AUD, I would have ideally have my stops below the key level because I don't want to be taking unnecessary losses buying this guy. So whatever I would do buying pound AUD, I want my stop loss to come ideally above this level. Sorry, below this level, so that just in case we have sideways movement manipulations, then I just might be in a much safer spot. So yeah.
Yeah, all right.
All right. Okay, so here, any other questions? Any other questions? All right.
So Cassie, please, I was looking at UJ. UJ still, we should have patience on it.
Yeah, that's true. UJ
UJ.
pulled back. But yes. UJ came down for it first.
Yeah, pull back. Mm.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, interesting, right? Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, yeah. Yeah, this is a break and retest, right? This is a break and retest. Um, this is a break and retest. This is a break and retest. Yeah, this is cool. Now, let's see. Yeah, ideally, now the question would be, would this level be smooth enough to allow prices to move? Like, I think it's the same question we're asking with pound GPY, right? With this level, this break and retest here, it's the same question we're asking with UJ. Would this level be smooth enough to move without having to draw down first? Now, I think UJ would move easily if the dollar does not weaken unnecessarily in the next few weeks. Then this key level should just work out pretty well. But if it does, we might have a little bit of sluggish moves before it happens. But this is cool. This is a break and retest. And I think about this. This is what we're waiting for, right? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So break retest. Now this is why I would not want to buy the first test, right? Because of this that can happen. But again, I said before that since we've not hit the key level, buys are still like very valid. So either ways, this is a new break and retest. This is cool to see. It is not a guarantee that it will play out, but yeah, this is very cool. This is exactly what I'm waiting for. Now, personally, I won't buy this, like I said, not because it's wrong, because this is where I would love to have my entries down here at 141. But we missed it. Like I missed 141. It's been gone since September 2024. So far, if this would be like the higher low, let's drop this feed again. Let's drop this feed again. Ooh, interesting. All right, even from here, interesting. I like to think that if this is a pullback, if this is a correction, then yes, we should see higher prices on SGP. I think I'll post this tomorrow just to give an update because I was tracking USGP as well. So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah, yes, but Cassie, you made a post on it like when you are looking out for 149 for price to come and retest on the page. So yesterday, yeah, today, yes, I was checking up on it. I was watching, so it has come back to 149
Yeah,
area. So
yeah, it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
It
yeah,
has.
you made a
It
post
has.
on it.
Yeah,
Mm,
it has. And that's what I was trying to say with our previous session. That this is what I was waiting for. Now, remember, you asked the question. You asked the question, right? That what I was just sell
yes,
from here.
yes.
I was like, nah, I'd wait for the retest, right? Which is what we're having. So yes, UJ looks good for buys. UJ does look good for buys. UJ does look good for buys. So let's see what happens to this guy. Let's see what happens to this guy. Yeah, any other questions? just before we wrap up. All right. In the absence of any questions, I think this is where we would draw the curtain for our live session this evening. It was a fantastic one as always, and thank you guys for showing up. Quarter one has basically ended, and now we move on to quarter two as paper traders. So once again, thank you for showing up, and of course, our session continues. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Okay, you have a wonderful evening.
Okay, thank you very much.
Of course, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, promise. You're welcome, man.
Okay, and have a profitable week ahead.
Of course, of course, of course. You guys take care. All right.
All right.